Hey you guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here with a little bit of a reaction and a very stupid place for my mic, but that's just the way that it is. I wanted to react to some of your all's comments on my last Dougherty Dozen video because some of y'all had some really good points. So I want to use this as an opportunity to echo what y'all were saying and just continue the conversation. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so there's over 400 comments on that video, so I'm obviously not going to have time to address every single one of them, but a few of these had really great points. So I'm not going to babble for too long, but I also wanted to thank you guys for the interactions with that video. It got a lot more views than what I was kind of thinking it would. And that's the whole point of my channel, is to have conversations that people might not feel comfortable having on a family vlogger or an influencer's own video, because a lot of times when you give criticism, even if it's constructive and really sweet and has sprinkles and ice cream on it, you'll still be deleted. And that's the point of commentary channels. And I know that commentary is a bit it can be misrepresented to watchers of family vloggers because, and I've said this before, so I'm sorry if I'm a broken record, but what happens is you have people watching Alicia cook and shop at Wegmans and do all this kind of stuff, or even if it's not her, it could be another family vlogger, and you're watching this type of content, and then one day you come across a commentary channel and that's just not the content that you're used to consuming. So it's misrepresented to be hateful or bullying or, oh, I'm just jealous. The jealous argument is just so stale. I'm not even going to talk about it much in this video, but that's just kind of the way that it goes. And I appreciate y'all for allowing me to have my opinion and create a community that is here to talk about the other side of influencer culture, where there are problems with a lot of the things that the influencers are doing. And we're here to talk about it, and nobody's here to bully or drag anyone. And that's been the common theme of my channel for a very long time now. You know, even if people don't agree with the opinions that I'm giving, I know that I'm delivering them in a concise manner. And if someone still wants to call me a bully, then that's on them. But I know for a fact that I have not bullied anyone. And I just think that commentary can be a little confusing to some people depending on what they're used to consuming on YouTube. But before I babble and bore y'all, let's get into the comments. Okay, so the first comment says, I'm not going to judge anyone who hires a nanny. If I only had one kid and I'd get a nanny, I only have one kid and I would get a nanny in a heartbeat if I could afford it, because parenting is rough, especially when both parents work. Even if Alicia was the best mother in the world, 12 kids is an overwhelming amount, especially if one or more has special needs. So in this one instance, I think it's wrong to judge her. And it's annoying to see people who don't have kids claim that hiring a nanny to help 12 children makes Alicia lazy. Now here's the whole thing. Let's clear this up right now. First of all, let's hit on the judgment part. If someone wants to consider giving commentary on public content as judging, that's your opinion. To me, it's more of a reaction. I am not degrading her. I am not saying that she is the worst person on YouTube. I am not saying that she is a terrible mother, and because I don't know what she's doing when the camera is actually off. I don't live with her. None of us do. And that's always kind of been my stance. I'm going to react to what's made public. And I'm going to be on the opposite side of the argument to the people saying, oh, these children are so happy and Alicia is the best person ever. Neither of us live with her, and I'm going to err on the side of caution because a lot of the content that I have seen is red flags. For me, when I think of kind of the cornerstones of being a good role model, a good guardian, whatever label you want to place on it, I think of protection and privacy as first and foremost. And I don't see her doing that. In fact, I see the opposite. I see her taking the privacy away from her children so that she can talk about their medical issues, their birth parents, telling people where they go to school, telling people what bus they ride, telling people their schedules a week ahead of time. And those don't equate to privacy for me. So if we're going to talk about some of the cornerstones, and privacy is one of them, that's not what I've seen with her. If someone wants to label commentary and giving a reaction as judgment, like I said, that's their opinion. But people are allowed to have opinions of what is made public. And, you know, obviously some things that are meant to be private are made public as well. But that is usually very rare on YouTube, because most of the commentary channels that I have seen and I consume are reacting to videos, photos, public comments, actions that are actually exhibited by said influencer or family vlogger. And all it is having a conversation around that. Do I agree with anyone bullying her for the way that she looks, her voice, making huge speculations that can be dangerous? I don't agree with any of that. But it seems like a lot of the Dougherty fans want to constantly say, oh, judge, 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 you're just a bully, you're just jealous. And those are just really tired arguments at this point, and that's why I don't entertain them very often, because having an opinion on public content is completely different than just saying, oh, this is definitely happening behind the scenes, and this person is just the worst person on the planet. It's a night and day difference, and I'm going to continue to move forward. But that is a common word that I see used, is judgment and jealous. The two J's. They love to use those left, right, and center. Now, this commenter was going all over my comment section defending Alicia. And she responded to the comment that I just read, and she said that shame on my video for shame on my video and shame on me for trying to profit off of this family. PJ, I cannot help if my Dougherty videos do really well. It's obviously what people want to talk about. It's obviously what people want to hear about at this point in time. YouTube is ebbs and flows. Your community is going to show interest in one thing this month, and then it'll be on to something else next month. That's just the way the commentary goes. And it's not my fault if Alicia is making such a clusterfuck of her channel that people are interested in the opposite side of things. Instead of praising her, they want to talk about the red flags and the problem with this type of channel existing on YouTube. There are opinions about it, and I am here to talk about it. So shame me all that you want, but it's not going to go very far, because I saw you standing Alicia all over my comments section, and to me it makes you look like you're just one of those people that avoids very obvious red flags and tells everyone else that they should do the same. Okay, and this is a great comment. This person said, in my state, Child and Family Services has a foster care commercial that says, you don't have to be a perfect parent to be a perfect parent. And I always thought, well, no, you don't have to be perfect, but you at least need to be good at the essentials of providing a clean, safe, and loving home. I couldn't agree more with this. I think that this is the more logical stance that someone would have to thinking of a commercial coming across like that. Nobody is asking for perfection, but I think that most people are asking for a little bit of privacy, a little bit of care, a little bit of, not exhibiting your very unhealthy shopping habits for the world to see, when you're using money that was made off the backs of children that counted on Alicia to give them privacy, and she did not, and she's just kind of laughing all the way to the bank, and then all the way to Wegmans, and then all the way to Costco, and then all the way to Walmart. And this is all money that she has made off the backs of these kids and their stories and their medical concerns and their birth parents. And she took away the right for them to tell their story when they turn 17, 18, 19, or never. She already used it for her monetary gain. And yes, she's spending the money on the kids. But at what point in time does a kid not need 29 pairs of shoes and clothes and junk food? It's just, it gets stale at a certain point. I'm pretty sure that most kids would rather have their parents' undivided attention than 16 pairs of the newest shoes. I could be wrong, but kids thrive off of attention. The materialistic stuff can go some places, but at a certain point in time, it's just boring. And, we're talking about what are kids going to remember 10, 15 years from now. They're going to remember that undivided attention that they had from their parent. Here's the next comment. I would just like to say, as the mother of a learning disabled child who is an adult, disabilities do not prevent a child from learning life skills. At the extent of her children's levels, chores, cleanliness, and a routine are basic care needs. The only thing preventing those kids from picking up after themselves is Alicia. And, like I said in that video, I do think that based on all of the videos and stuff that I have seen, she does kind of seem like the pushover parent. But that also doesn't mean that the pushover parent cannot change things and change their ways and actually start to enforce some of the rules so that they can help have a more put together environment for these 12 kids that she signed up to take care of. But this person said she won't bring in anyone to help because if she did, the curtain would be pulled back and they would see what's actually going on, and she can't risk that. This is a great comment. I do wonder if with bringing someone in, would she have them sign an NDA? Like, she was advertising for that nanny. She already has a babysitter, but for that full-time nanny role, would she have the nanny sign an NDA? That's something that I would not be surprised if it happened, but I also think that it speaks very loudly when YouTubers have their employees sign an NDA. I think that it says a lot. I know that it's pretty standard in the business and so on and so forth. But yeah, I just have questions. And if y'all hear Axel snoring, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but he's like right here at my feet. So the next comment says, she has taught these kids that they do not have to take responsibility for themselves. They will grow up and be the same as adults. What a shame. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand. And I've tried to kind of like walk this line where I don't want to come out and just parent shame for something really meticulous or silly or stupid. There are certain things that just don't deserve to be talked about, and that's just my opinion. But when it comes to something so fundamental as having literally just like a disastrous home and showing that to your followers, and it's like you have kids that are able and should be picking up after themselves and they're not doing anything. I just don't understand, like, what is the value in her content? Can someone please tell me that? Unless you just like to watch someone blow money, what is the value? And someone else, this is the next comment. The kids are old enough to be given assigned chores. Her house is salvageable, but she keeps her wasteful ways. She will end up on an episode of Hoarders. If I were the caseworker, she would totally hate me. No McDonald's unless we clean up. Reward the kids with stuff like that. Her house is definitely on the way to being reported to her municipality if she doesn't get it under control now. She exhibits the dangerous behaviors of a hoarder. A visit to a therapist would, I won't finish that part, but I do agree with this. And this is what I was saying the entire time. This is a good comment. Your elevated concern is completely justified. My ex was a hoarder and it is a serious condition and creates a horrible toxic home environment. And not allowing the kids a chance to participate in chores will not give them a chance to take ownership of their own living space. The way they are living is so harmful. Thank you for speaking up. And that video that I made, it was not an easy video to make, because as I predicted, I had some of Alicia's #1 fans in my comments absolutely pissed that I had the nerve to speak about the messy existence that her house is in. And I knew that that was coming. Because no matter what I say about Alicia, her fans are going to be there to tell me how terrible I am and what a mean, miserable person and all of this kind of stuff. But when it comes to this, it's a pattern. And even if, let's just say, because I know that Alicia obviously straightens up, she cleans up after her kids, so on and so forth. But if you want to be an advocate for fostering and adopting, part of that advocacy work would be showing all of the good things that you're doing for these kids once they are brought into your home. It's not just, hey, come on in the house, let's go blow some money at the store and, climb up in your bed and eat Oreos and cookies all day. This is not what being an advocate is. Being an advocate is bringing children into your home, nurturing them, showing them life skills, telling them the rules, making sure that they are following those rules because you are now their parent or, foster parent or leader or role model or whatever you want to say. It's important that you show them, this is how we do things in this house. This house runs on this schedule. These are the chores. You are expected to do this chore once a week or twice a week or whatever it is. There is no reason why Alicia should be running around cleaning up after these kids. And that's my personal opinion. These children are not toddlers. The one just got his license in a, new vehicle. I know when it comes to messy houses, I've heard from several of y'all that, we are in this day and age of every kid having their own iPad, their own laptop, their own phone, whatever. And that's something that she could be doing. She could be saying, you know what? No cell phone, no social media until this chore is done. And if you do that with all of your kids, obviously, maybe her 2 or 3 youngest might not have, obviously, as many as what the older kids would. But this is showing an example. That's being an advocate. You are showing your audience that, yes, I have brought 12 kids into my home, but we run off a strict schedule and they respect me and they do not look at me like a pushover. And I'm showing them life skills and how to be organized and what chores need to be done on what days, and that money is an object. That's the other thing. She is not showing them financial literacy for any way, shape, or form. She is showing them that money is no object. And we can spend $1,500 4 days a week when we go shopping. Financial literacy with children, especially once they get into high school, is extremely important, because that is the, time in a kid's life where these lessons that they've been taught, they're really going to start to stick once they enter that high school era. Because chances are, once, not with her kids, but with a lot of kids, once they're 16, 17, they're getting those summer jobs, they're starting to get paid. And if you have taught them financial literacy over the last couple of years heading up to that point, they're going to understand that, okay, I'm actually getting paid. This is my money. I can't just go blow it all because I'm trying to save for this jacket or this expensive pair of shoes. And you teach them so that those tools stay with them not only through those summer jobs, but also once they get full-time jobs. But instead, she's showing them that just like blow it all, like nothing matters. And on top of it, the money that you're spending on clothes and food is getting trashed. So it's not even being donated. It's not being, given to someone in need. What kind of values are you teaching? None. That's the answer, and that's my opinion. I watched for 3 minutes and there are so many red flags. It's really not about the children. It's look at me, I'm such a great person, such a great mom, etc. This is chaotic. I couldn't live in these conditions, let alone a foster child who has to grow up in this chaos. It's not healthy. And this person was extra salty. She said, "Are you serious?" She posted the disaster after the kids getting ready for the first day of school. She showed how she got it all clean. That doesn't matter. You completely, if that's your takeaway from my video, then you completely missed the message. It's the issue of her saying, look at me, look at all the things that I can do. I am not only a savior, I'm super mom. I take in the difficult kids. I get it all done. I'm running errands. I'm cooking all these meals. Everything is really put together with a bow and glitter on top. But in fact, these are the things that are happening. You have a door with literally vandalism, paint all over it. Why is that not fixed? And I'll tell you, I will tell you guys something a little bit personal. If I were, first of all, I would have never had the nerve to vandalize anything in my home growing up, because I just knew better, because I was raised with these strict set of rules. And even at a young age, I would have known to not vandalize my house, please. But let's just say that I did. I will tell you that the very next day, if not the same day, I would have been helping my dad paint what I had ruined. It would have been a really drawn out task, and he would have made it extra boring and extra tedious. And I would have learned my lesson to never, ever, ever, ever vandalize anything in my home or anyone else's, space either. The condition of her home gives me so much anxiety. How do they find anything? Oh, right, can't find it, just go buy more. Anyway, I know the reading comments is not necessarily the most entertaining video, but I wanted to echo a few of these because they made really good points, and also the people who didn't like that I was making the video, I still wanted to address those as well. But the biggest takeaway here is the image that's being portrayed versus like, who is it actually benefiting? Aside from it making Alicia a lot of money, who gets the benefit out of this? Sure, the kids get materialistic stuff, but as I've said before, that only takes you so far in life. Teaching your kids financial literacy and the fact that money does not last forever, and you can't just constantly blow money on junk is a really good lesson to instill in your kids, because it's one that is going to stay with them for a really long time. And that's just my perspective from my own experience and experiences that I've seen from others close to me. And I think that it's vital and really important. So those are my thoughts. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.